Hi, today's assignment is on fragments and complete sentences. What you will do is you will watch the video on slide 2, then read and work the complete sentence and fragment assignments on slides 3 through 13, turning to Canvas for a daily grade. So the lesson for this is, first, what is a complete sentence? And second is, what is a fragment and how do you fix them? So when we're looking at lesson 1, what is a complete sentence? A complete sentence contains a subject, a verb, and it is a complete thought. It has a subject, which is the noun that performs the verb. She has been working hard on the renovation plans. She would be our subject. Verb, the words that shows action. These can be helping or linking verbs as well. They must have conducted a lot of research in order to develop the vaccine. So must have conducted would be our verb phrase. This is an incomplete thought. Before he arrived for the surprise party. Now, it looks like it's a sentence because it has punctuation at the end, but it's just not a complete thought by itself. Before he arrived for the surprise party, you don't know what else is happening. And this is a complete thought. We scrambled to get everything set up before he arrived for the surprise party. So the way you fix a fragment or an incomplete thought is you either put a thought before it or you put a complete thought after it. Lesson 2, what is a fragment? A fragment is a sentence that is missing either a subject, a verb, or it is not a complete thought. And for instance, if we look at this sentence is missing a subject. Wondered what was going on. Who wondered what was going on? We don't know. You could say, I wondered what was going on. It would be a complete sentence, but it doesn't have that. So therefore, it is a fragment. It's missing a subject. This is missing a verb. The colorful umbrella under the tree. So the colorful umbrella under the tree, what? We don't know what the colorful umbrella under the tree did. The colorful umbrella under the tree blew away in the wind. There we have a verb. This is missing a complete thought. While she was waiting, so we have she as our subject and was waiting would be our verb phrase. But it starts with this, a Webis word, a subordinate conjunction while. Therefore, we know that this is a fragment. This is a dependent clause, and it's depending on an independent clause or a complete sentence to make sense. Now, you can turn fragments into complete sentences by adding the missing subject, verb, or more information to make it a complete thought. Rewrite the fragments below to create a complete sentence. The boy who cried wolf. Well, that is not a complete thought, so you would have to rewrite it. So you would say, the boy who cried wolf was telling lies to the village. Now we have a complete thought. Now we know what the boy who cried wolf was doing. So you would type that in as you go. And then you'd do that with the rest of these. On this particular slide, you have to figure out what's missing. So you're going to read the fragments below and determine if they are missing a subject, a verb, or a complete thought. And you'll type the correct answer in the box. When I fell riding my bike. So what's missing from this? So when I fell riding my bike, we have a subject, we have a verb. So what's missing is it is not a complete thought. It's missing a complete thought. So that's what you'll do on this one. And then you'll go through and read these and figure out what's missing, subject, verb, or the complete thought. On the next slide, it's saying you're going to add a verb. Rewrite the fragments below to include verb phrases or predicates. A slithering venomous snake. So you would just say a slithering venomous snake. What? Tell the verb that the snake did and make it a complete thought. Told it to, on this one, we're adding a subject. So subjects are nouns. So nouns are pronouns. So rewrite the fragment below to include subjects. told a joke, making everyone laugh. Well, who told the joke? So you would say the 7th grade teacher told a joke, comma, making everyone laugh. Just make sure you're adding in clearly who told the joke. Next, this fragment you're going to add. So we have next one is fragments needs to be a complete thought. Each fragment below contains a subject and a verb, but they are missing a complete thought. Rewrite each fragment to include a complete thought. As they drove around the neighborhood. So what we need is this is a dependent clause, and you need to add an independent clause to give it a complete thought. As they drove around the neighborhood. So you can either do this, the family looked at Christmas lights as they drove around the neighborhood. Or you could say, as they drove around the neighborhood, they were calling for their puppy. So you can add, with this type of sentence, you can add your independent clause at the beginning, or you can add your independent clause at the end. This side, these are fragments, but the question is, how do you know? Label each set of words as a complete sentence with an S or a fragment with an F. And in the box, you need to explain how you know. So it says, because Lena and Rosa arrived early. Is it a sentence or a fragment? Well, obviously, this is a fragment. It's not a complete thought. And how do I know? So I'm going to go ahead and make this a capital F. How do I know? Because it's not a complete. It says, because Lena and Rosa arrived early. Mainly I know because it starts with a subordinating conjunction because, but it's not a complete thought. Therefore, you have to explain how you know because it needs an independent clause added to it. And one thing to be aware of, sentences like run, you can ask yourself, is that a complete thought or not? Or anyway, so on this one, run is a command sentence where the verb is the first word and the subject isn't understood to be you. Examples like stop, go now, help. It's a command and you're talking to the person listening. So it's an understood you. So is this a sentence fragment? Actually, no, it's a full sentence. How do you know? Because it has a verb and it has an understood subject. Let's look at this one. This is sorting. Determine if the cards are the fragments or complete sentences and sort them. So complete sentences will go in this column and fragments will go over here. The main character was a fiction of my imagination. So we have subject, main character, was, that's your verb. So you can just put it here. So you're just going to sort these in the pile that they belong in. This is another sort. Determine if the lemons are fragments or complete sentences. Sort them accordingly. So you'll just drag the lemons. It was a huge problem. Is that a complete sentence or is that a fragment? Sort it. So put the lemon in the lemonade. On this one, fragments can be used for emphasis and style. Read the example below and highlight the fragments. Then explain the effect of their placement in the story. So you're going to read this entire story, choose a fragment from this ad, it's actually an ad, and explain the effect that it creates. And on this one, write a story or poem below composed entirely of fragments. You're going to choose a book, write down 5 sentences from that book, turn those 5 sentences into fragments by removing the subject, verb, or complete thought. Rearrange those fragments to form a poem or story. The original sentences from the book, and then rewrite them. And then once you're finished and you've completed all of the assignments, turn it into Canvas for a daily grade.